Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Pink Funks. Thank you, right? Out here in the lab, what I do for you. Oh, I got a nice, quick, short one for you today. But, mm, teasing. Let's go. Writers in 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Measuring story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I see the numbers is going up. I appreciate you. Hope you're using it to your benefit. That's what they're for. So we got a good thing going. That's right. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through a mental and spiritual disciplined lifestyle daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is for you to do just that eventually. So I'm here every day to give you every opportunity to make that happen for yourself. Excuse me. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't, stay tuned. I can help you with it. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you. Stay tuned too. A person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think you know that self. And to my eye, be true. I'm taking it to the book. Got a little lesson here. This is the book that I'm working on, and this is the page I'm working on. Okay. I let Heru out the bag. Okay. Now Heru comes in a few different aspects and a few different styles. So you know Heru, the baby, the Madonna. Okay. You know Heru when he becomes a young man and fights off his uncle Set defeat. But I'm gonna tell you about Heru Behedet. Behudet, and it's Heru the warrior slash conqueror. This is who all right thinkers want to be or should be. Okay, he is the epitome of what we do. And I want to give a quick lesson because I found in my studies, I do some studying, and I asked who is Heru in the Bible? Is Heru in the Bible? Or who is Heru in Christianity? How about that? They won't say they did, but let me know if this sounds a little familiar. Heru in the Christianity is said that Horus, like Jesus, or Jesus like Horus, was born of a virgin. Aset was a virgin, for she had was Horus, Heru, excuse me, and 12 disciples. Sound familiar? Walked on water, Heru, delivered a sermon on the mount. Sound familiar? Performed miracles, and watch this, was executed between two thieves, rose from the third day from the dead, and ascended into heaven on the third day. Hmm. Heru, where Heru and where Horus and Heru, where Horus and Heru the same. Hmm. Horus, Egyptian, Her, or Heru, in ancient Egyptian religion, a god in the form of a falcon, whose right eye was the sun and the morning star, representing what? Power, the quintessential, and whose left eye was the moon of evening, or the evening star, represents healing. Now, that's Heru, ancient. We all know the story about Jesus, but you make that decision. I'm not here to make that call. I just made that one to read that for you right quick before I got my lesson in. All right, now the lesson is about Heru. The number 1 and 10, I had that up top, but I don't want to get into that, so it's still right here. But let me write this right quick. The number 1 and 10 have a special relationship. Why? Actually, they are what? Reflections of each other. I told you on the tree of life, you got Ra at top, got Heru Earth as the king on the throne at the bottom. That's where you want to be. So you're working from your bottom up to reach your higher self conceptually. But in physical form, Heru Earth is your higher self. Let's go. That's the concept. Now 10 is the reflection of what? 1. Heru symbolizes perfection in life, which is of each other, which is reached by what? Listen, Heru symbolizes perfection in life, which is reached by living a life of truth, virtue, righteousness, in other words, upholding Maya, my girl. Okay? In the temple of Heru in Egypt, city of Edfu, dedicated to Heru in the form of Heru Burdett, which is he got a bow and arrow in one hand, and he got a mace. That's a stick with a big round ball in the back. And anytime you see him smiting the guy beside the head, bam! Okay, you see a picture of he had a handful of prisoners on the head. He just smiting, just buzzing outside the grave. That's how they did it back in the day. Now, it was said in the sanctuary, in the Holy of Holies, in the church. That's in the back, in the back where everybody would to keep the covenant. Okay, that's the concept. But here you go. The Holy Holy is what? It was encircled by what? A corridor of 10 chapels. In the same temple of Heru, there are reliefs in which Heru can be seen harpooning Set. I pictured that 10 times. Set, which is number 8 on the number chart, okay, is the principle. Here we go. Set is the principle, and Heru is harpooning him for a reason. Set is the principle of egoism, unrighteousness in the human personality, which must be subdued and sublimated in order to what? Obtain higher consciousness. If you are egoistic and you live on that level, you can get old and you can have a good prosperous life during that time. But when it's come down to answer for what you've done, they don't want to pay the dues. Okay, I tell you, it's self-defeating when you get caught cheating because you don't want to pay them dues. Because sometimes it can cost you your life. So in life, you need to take care of your ego. So in other words, watch this: to discover the mysteries of the mysteries of the other members, and thereby, in order to discover the mysteries of the other members of what, and thereby attain spiritual enlightenment. Discovering who? The Supreme Being as what? The support and essence of creation. We keep trying to explain to you. You need to know him. You need to become one with him. And this is what becoming Heru is all about. Okay? Watch this. 10 is the number of what? Completeness. Not completion, completeness for the human being, since watch this, we cannot count beyond it without what? Combining other numbers. And the other numbers are the same 1 through 9. Not new numbers, but the same ones as before. So there's nothing new. Nothing new happens, watch this, after 10. Conversely, nothing happens before 1. 0 is nothing. 1 through 9 are some things. Remember the Enoch, the gods, then you got the, oh man, no, don't do that to me. Well, you got the 9 gods on both sides. The Enoch means 9, then you got the Pahute, yeah, my boys, other 9. And watch this. But in reality, the Adu, there you go. In reality, they are merely emanations of what? From the what? Original nothingness of undifferentiated potential. Remember the noon? It's nothing there, but it's full of potential. When we're born into the world, we come from nothing, but we're full of potential. Get the concept? Hope so. But however, watch this. The number one is is undivided and what they call all-encompassing. That means it has everything. It is all-encompassing and watch and universal from what time and space perspective. Zero is undifferentiated. Excuse me, uncircumscribed. A perspective. It is transcendental and thus absolute and infinite. Thus, creation exists between 1 and 10. As the as the characters out there to go to Paute are in reality, listen, the Paute, the king, the gods and goddesses, male and female, are in reality, listen, aspects again of human consciousness. Part of your personality, part of your character, they all play a role. This is why you master them. That's why you know, or how you know thyself. That's how you become one with your higher self, knowing thyself through understanding your aspects of your character by mastering, being, and practicing them. Watch this. Now, the aspects of human consciousness, and watch this. The highest goal of all human beings is what? To go to Harvard and get a PhD, become summa cum laude, go to ACBC, become a no, play football, become famous, boxing with none of that. Become a guru, not even that. Okay, love you, Saudi, but that ain't even it. It's all human beings is to what? Attain the number 10. What? All that? Calm down. In other words, here we go. In other words, to become Heru. Keep telling you that. Or in other terms, to obtain Heruhood and thereby reflect fully the glory of what? The divine within oneself. Hello. Short lessons. I'm going to get it done. I'm almost done. We got a little bit left. Stay with me. Thus, the number one really symbolizes what? The transcendent. In other words, the absolute. I keep telling you, everything. And the number 10, watch this, 10 symbolizes, again, perfection in the world of time and space. Again, spiritual perfection is doing the right thing all the time. Thus, watch this, the task of every human being, the task of every human being is to discover their absolute and transcendental nature, aka themselves, higher self, thyself, whatever you want to call it. But that's the goal for every human being, not just us, not just no, all. Understand it? Let me wrap this up. Now, your transcendental nature is who? Ra or Nabercha, aka, and to become, listen, this is my favorite, masters of who? Their lives, like Mr. Wright. Oh no, Heru. When you master yourself, you have all the answers. You know everything you need to know who you are. That's the main important thing for all human beings. Here we go. Becoming like Heru. In other words, the destiny of every human being is to what? Discover their spirit, nature, and thus allow that nature to rule over the lower self. I call it spiritual discipline, aka your ego, ignorance, and vice self. That's the lesson. Hope it was informative. I just want to read it in the book. I didn't want to try to, I want you to get the concept. Become Heru, perfect spiritually. Stop with the, well, nobody perfect. Maybe I'm just human. If you have a weak constitution, if you have an addiction that you can't get over, get some assistance. That's all. If you can't do it by yourself, get some help. I'm just saying. But when you have total control over you, you should take advantage of that and do just that. Know thyself. It ain't easy. but it's sure worth it. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back. Heru!